Hey, welcome to season 3 of the Catalytic Leadership Podcast.
Welcome to Catalytic Leadership, the podcast designed to help leaders intentionally grow and thrive. Here is your host, author, and leadership and executive coach, Dr. William Attaway.
Man, it is really hard to believe we are starting our third year. 2 years ago, we started the show because we wanted this to be a resource for you, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial or your leadership journey. We wanted to add value to you where you are, and we wanted to highlight people who are doing great work. That's our goal for every episode. This isn't about a comparison game where you compare yourself to the people on the show, because the comparison game is one that nobody ever wins. You either compare yourself to somebody farther down the road than you and you feel, well, pretty bad, or you compare yourself to somebody who's not as far as you are and you can get puffed up and prideful. I don't want either of those for you. This show has been about highlighting people to inspire us, to challenge us, to make us think, to help us to avoid some ditches that they've driven into, and help us to go a little bit farther than we might get on our own and get there a little bit faster. I want you to start where you are, not where you think you should be or where you wish you were. That's been our goal from the beginning. And at the end of season 2 here, and as we start season 3, I think it's important to do some evaluation. This is something that I teach my clients. It's something that you've heard me talk about on this show. Evaluation is 3 questions that I use. The first one is always this: what wins can we celebrate? As I look back over the first 2 years, there are so many wins, so many fantastic conversations, so many insights, so much wisdom, so many gold nuggets that we've been able to pick up. So much that we've learned from so many guests who were so generous and so willing to share. Those are all wins. And I think if you've been listening to the show for a while, you can say, yeah, I have gained a lot from these guests who've been so generous. They've helped me to avoid some ditches. They've helped me to go a little farther. And that's the goal, isn't it? So we celebrate those wins. We start and we celebrate them. I look at the first 2 years and I think, what misses did we have? And we had some. We learned a lot. We're a new show. And so as we learned and navigated waters that we had never traversed before, we learned some things. We tried some things that didn't work. And we didn't try some things that maybe we could have. And so we evaluate that. We look at that and we say, hey, what are the misses? And then we ask our third question: how do we make it better next time? And that takes me into season 3, because season 3 is going to be better. That's the goal. You know, my world, my business is about 3 things primarily. It's about coaching leaders. It's about speaking to leaders and entrepreneurs, and it's about writing. And in so many different environments that I have been in this last year in particular, where I've been speaking and coaching, I have heard from so many of you, so many insights, so much wisdom. You've shared with me things that you've learned from the show and some ways to make it better. And we're going to execute on many of those in season 3. We want to best add value to you. So I'm going to ask here as we start season 3, let us know how we're doing. Give us feedback, because feedback is a gift. That helps us to get better. And we want to serve you to the best of our ability. We want to best add value to you, maximum. So give us feedback. Message us through your podcast app. Email us. Let us know how we're doing, because we want to get better. You can contact us by going to the website, catalyticleadership.net. Find out more about the podcast and so many other things that we're doing. Now, season 3 is going to look different. We've got some great guests lined up already. I can't wait for you to hear some of the conversations we've already had. We try to stay about 6 to 8 weeks ahead with our recording. So I can tell you the first 2 months, they're going to be great. These conversations are ones that you're going to want to have a notepad and a pen nearby, because there are so many insights that I captured as I was having these conversations. So many guests that are going to add so much value to you. You're going to hear about topics that are going to make you think. And you're going to hear about topics that are going to inspire you. to take action. And that's always what I want. I want you to step out and take action, because insights and wisdom are great, but if you don't apply them, they are not great. They are about useless. I want you to execute. I want you to step into your next chapter. Speaking of the next chapter, my next book is going to release during season 3. It's called The Catalytic Mindset. You get to choose. Something that you've heard me say a lot on this show. And if you've heard me speak, you've heard me say that as I speak. I believe that to the core of my being. You get to choose. And the book is about how to create and craft a catalytic mindset that truly will help you to be a catalytic leader in what you are leading. That is what I want for you. So, my challenge to you as we begin season 3, get ready. Give us feedback. Help us know how we can best add value to you, how we can best serve you. Let us know. You can email us. You can contact us through the podcast app. Let us know, because we want to bring the most value possible. And your feedback is one way we know what that value is. My friends, I look forward to a great season 3 with you. And as always, my challenge to you, choose to be catalytic. Thanks for joining me for this episode today. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do 2 things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, if you don't have a copy of my newest book, Catalytic Leadership, I'd love to put a copy in your hands. If you go to catalyticleadershipbook.com, you can get a copy for free. Just pay the shipping so I can get it to you, and we'll get one right out. My goal is to put this into the hands of as many leaders as possible. This book captures principles that I've learned in 20 plus years of coaching leaders in the entrepreneurial space, in business, government, nonprofits, education, and the local church. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take a next step with a coach to help you intentionally grow and thrive as a leader, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to catalyticleadership.net to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, leaders, choose to be catalytic.
Thanks for listening to Catalytic Leadership with Dr. William Attaway. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode. Want more? Go to catalyticleadership.net.